Hey everybody, it's Sarah and it's Vlogmas, day 17! Okay, so it's Vlogmas day 17. I can't believe that it's day 17 already. It's time to update my board, so let me take off my Rudolph glasses. And there's my Vlogmas jumper from yesterday. Okay, so we're just gonna update this. So, first thing is first, we wipe off the 9. And we take off the cap of the pen. And we change it to 8 days until Christmas. I can't believe that there's 8 days until Christmas. I actually cannot believe that it's 8 days until Christmas. That's scary. That's scary. Okay, so I'm just home from work. I have my dinner and then I made myself some hot chocolate. So there it is in one of my Christmas mugs and my hot chocolate. The cream is kind of melted, so I put cream with caramel and chocolate sauce on top. I was just so tired yesterday I couldn't edit the vlog, so I have to edit yesterday's vlog and put that up. And while I'm doing that, I will record today's vlog, so stay tuned. Oh, also today's the Pope's birthday, so yeah. Happy birthday, Pope. In case you're wondering what I'm wearing, this is my Blackhawks jersey. Go Blackhawks, yeah! I'm black and red till I'm cold and dead. So yes, Blackhawks are a hockey team. They're from Chicago. I love them. They're my favourite. I love the Blackhawks. They're my favourite. This is the back of it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Probably not. Let me see. Can you see it? My back. So yeah, I love my jersey. It's lovely and warm. So warm. Okay, I'm gonna watch a Christmas film while I'm editing, and then I will do my video. So today I'm gonna give you some more facts about Christmas. And well, there's 12 days in Christmas, so I'm gonna give you 12 facts. Fact number 1. This Christmas fact comes to us all the way from Japan. In Japan on Christmas, they don't eat turkey like we do over here. No, instead they eat chicken. And not just any kind of chicken. Particular kind of chicken. KFC to be exact. So, in Japan, Christmas is really only relatively new. Christmas is not celebrated there as they do over here because really they're not Christian. It's not a Christian country. The majority of people in Japan are Buddhists. So when there were Christians, they weren't celebrating or weren't even allowed to celebrate. Between the 1600s and the 1800s, Christianity was actually banned in Japan. So there were small communities which had a hidden Christmas as such, but nothing really as big as any other country would have had. Later, as this ban was lifted and the country became more Americanized, then Christmas traditions started to take on. In the 1970s, what happened was that turkey wasn't really eaten in Japan, but chicken was quite popular. So in 1974, KFC decided to jump on this and they started doing a Christmas dinner special. So 1974 is not that long ago, yet this has become a huge tradition. So much so that in every KFC in Japan, there are queues of people waiting to get in. People even book Christmas buckets of chicken months in advance just so that they'll have it for Christmas Day. So they book their chicken buckets, they book tables. It's crazy. I can't imagine replacing my turkey and ham with Kentucky Fried Chicken. Although Kentucky Fried Chicken does sound very nice right now. But no, I couldn't imagine replacing my turkey with it. In Japan as well, just on a side note, they don't actually call it KFC the way we would over here or in America. They just call it Kentucky. So they just have Kentucky for Christmas. Christmas fact number 2. So we all have Christmas songs that we love, and one in particular that everybody likes is, well, it's rocking around the Christmas tree like a Christmas party. But what people don't know about Rocking Around the Christmas Tree is Brenda Lee was only 13 years old when she actually recorded it. 13. Now that you know that, I want you to pause this. Go and YouTube Rocking Around the Christmas Tree as sung by Brenda Lee, the original version, and listen to it. Have you done it? She doesn't sound 13. She sounds a lot older. So what happened was that when she was young, she used to she used to kind of do songs on stage and things like that. Her dad died when she was quite young, so she became the main breadwinner, the winner of the family. And she sang with different people on stage, kind of as a one-off thing. But she became so popular with her mature voice that she actually was brought back for more and more performances. Eventually, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree was written and she was asked to perform it, so she did. She recorded it. Initially, the song was actually a massive failure. It only sold something like 500,000 copies, which if you think about the amount of people that there are that listen to it, that's actually really, really bad. But over the years, it has become a staple of the Christmas season. And really, I couldn't imagine Christmas without Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, as sung by Brenda Lee. She's still alive. I mean, that was only the 40s, so she's not that old. But just think of that. She was 13. Think of what you were doing when you were 13. You weren't singing Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Well, you may have been, but not as well as Brenda Lee. Christmas fact number 3. Now, this one might disappoint the people out there that use the symbol X when writing Christmas, because people seem to think that Xmas, as is written down, is the non-religious way of writing Christmas, and that's simply not true. Christmas, Christmas, obviously is the full spelling of the word. The X comes from the Greek alphabet. So the Greek word for Christ begins with X, and it was shorthand for writing Christmas. So X is CHI, it's chi. So therefore people put it in with Xmas. Now, when this started being used first, they said that when, like, you know, the dictionary and things like that said that Christmas was formal and that Xmas was informal and should never be used in letter writing and things like that. But as the holidays have continued over the years, it's kind of become a handy way if you don't have space to write X instead of Christmas. It's been used for over 1,000 years for scholars, so that's far before people started to, I guess, question Christianity and the way that they do now. And really, in recent years, Xmas has become a symbol for people who are non-Christians to celebrate Christmas. But really, all you're doing is still putting the Christ in Christmas. Sorry! Christmas fact number 4 is about these beautiful things. So you all know this is a candy cane, but you might wonder, where do they come from? They come from 17th century Cologne. So there was a choirmaster in Cologne in the 17th century, and basically what was happening was that they were having a Christmas Eve mass. They were going to have children involved in the nativity scene, but he thought that the children might become unruly. So he decided to make some candy sticks for them. So basically straight sticks like this. But then he thought, well, that seems a little bit out of place for a Christmas scene. So he decided to make them a cane shape. Not cane like, you know, the Santa Claus cane in Miracle on 34th Street. No, but a shepherd's crook or staff, as you may call it. You know, that kind of a staff. So that's why he created them to look like that, because the nativity scene, shepherd's staff. Oh, what? So yes, these were invented in 17th century Cologne. Side note, this story could be made up. It is a story that's been around for years. It is an urban legend, but hey, I'm going to stick with it. In the 1920s in America, they became very popular because a man named Bob McCormick started making them with his brother for their candy company. It should be noted that the company that they had that were making these candy canes still makes them today, although they have been bought out by a larger conglomerate, because that's what happens. But nonetheless, it's pretty interesting. Now, these particular candy canes, which I just dropped, they can be found in Heaton's. I get them. They have a box of them, and you can actually buy 2 boxes for, I think, €5 or something like that. And they come in 3 different flavours. They have the peppermint, which I dropped on the ground. There's strawberry, which I have a box of and aren't opened. And then there's tropical, which I don't like. But you can also buy many other flavours. Individual candy canes can be sold in different flavours, such as licorice, cola. I think you can even get cinnamon flavoured. So why not celebrate Christmas with a 17th century, allegedly, candy cane? Interesting Christmas fact number 5. One of my favourite Christmas films is It's a Wonderful Life. The story of George Bailey going to jump off a bridge and then an angel coming and telling him not to do it because his life is great. And him saying, I wish I was never born. Okay, he didn't say it like that, but that's not the point. And him wishing that he was never born. The angel then showed him what his life would have been like if he was never born, and going into the town and seeing what a horrible town it was, how his family were just, well, obviously his kids didn't exist, how his wife had a horrible life, how his brother actually didn't make it. It was, don't ever wish you weren't born, because believe me, the world would be totally terrible. So the angel then shows him all this, and in the end he wishes that he was born, and then they have the cutest line ever where he goes in and he's with his little daughter and the bell rings and his daughter says, every time a bell rings an angel gets its wings. and it's just beautiful. But what you might not know about it is that the film itself is based on a Christmas card. Sort of. So a man called, hold on, I want to get his name. Philip Van Doren Stern. See, had to write it down because I wouldn't remember it. So Philip Van Doren Stern wrote this story in 1953. He had a dream when it came to him, and he wrote out the story afterwards. He started trying to sell this story so that he could make it into a film, but nobody was interested. So instead what he decided to do was he decided to compile it into a Christmas card and send out 200 copies. Eventually a copy got to one of the managing directors of RKO Films, who bought the rights of the story for $10,000, which in modern time would be worth around $124,000. The film was then sold on to Frank Capra's film company. The rest is history. It's a Wonderful Life, a timeless classic, was made. And well, George Bailey will have a special place in all of our hearts at Christmas. If you haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life, you really should, because it's brilliant. It's a great Christmas film. You should watch it. Christmas fact number 6. So we all know the great poem, The Visit from St. Nicholas, or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas as it's better known. But what you might not know is how old it is. It was actually published on December 23rd, 1823 in the New York Centennial. And it was published under an anonymous author, so nobody knew who it was. However, the person who delivered it to the newspaper was a close friend of Clement Clarke Moore. Now, Clement Clarke Moore for years denied that he ever wrote it. He was a historical writer who thought that his reputation would be dragged down if they knew that he wrote this children's poem. And for years and years and years he did deny it, until years later and his children told him that he really should just admit that he did it. So most historians believe that he did actually write it, just for years he denied it. And well, I have to say it's the only thing that I know him for, so it didn't really drag down his reputation, because it's my favourite Christmas poem. Sorry. Another thing about it that people don't know is that it's actually the first time that the idea of Santa was set. I mean, people had ideas of Santa, and there was so many different traditions of what Santa did. This was the first time it was really set as to what he wore, how he entered the house, you know, even just how he travelled. People didn't know that he had Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. People didn't know he had 8 tiny reindeer with their hoofs. People didn't know that he came down the chimney, that he had a big belly that, you know, was like a bowl full of jelly. People just didn't know these things. So really we can thank Clement C. Moore for solidifying in us the idea of St. Nicholas. And well, it is my favourite Christmas poem. Maybe I'll recite it. We'll see. Christmas fact number 7. So we all know the beautiful tradition that is kissing under the mistletoe. But it's not really that beautiful a tradition when you think of what mistletoe means. Mistletoe means dung twig. That's what it literally means. So you're kissing under the dung twig. The white berries of a mistletoe, apparently people used to think of them as looking like some sort of droppings. That's beautiful. Christmas fact number 8. So we all know the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but I bet you don't know how it was created. In 1939, an American chain department store named Montgomery Ward used to give out Christmas books to their customers every year, free. They were just Christmas books that were colouring books for children to fill in hopes that the people would actually visit their store. So in 1939, they realised that this was getting really expensive to get all these books, you know, they were giving them away for free, so they decided to start printing their own. And they hired a writer and illustrator named Robert L. May to come up with a story for their storybook. And well, he came up with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He himself was actually bullied in school, so as a child he was much smaller than everyone else and was picked on for that. So when he came up with the story for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, he wanted to come up with an ugly duckling type scenario. So he came up with the story based on kind of an ugly duckling but at Christmas. And he also the book was actually written like a poem based on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It all links in. It all links in. So I guess we have Robert L. May and Montgomery Ward to thank for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Side note, the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, was actually written by a brother-in-law of Robert L. May. It all links in. It all links in. It's a small world. Christmas fact number 9. This is one that you can definitely use in a table quiz. What was the first song sung in space? It was Jingle Bells. So in 1965, the astronauts on board Gemini 6 sent a message to Mission Control saying that they could see some sort of a cosmic being or cosmic something out in front of them. They said that they couldn't make out what it was, but that it was travelling at a very fast speed over the Earth. They then said that there was 8 tiny, small cosmic beings in front of one large one, and these were all travelling together in the same direction. The two then proceeded to start singing Jingle Bells, and wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. They saw Santa Claus. They saw Santa. Oh my God, Santa! I know him! Christmas fact number 10 comes back to Rudolph, hence the reason I've changed my nose. So Christmas fact number 10 is about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie. So I don't know how many people have seen it. I love it. I love it. It's like a Christmas staple. I watch it every Christmas Eve. I love it. I'm like a small child. But Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the Christmas TV movie, at the end of the movie, I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it, but basically they go to an island of misfit toys, and Rudolph promises that he's going to save them. And at the end of the movie, he brings Santa, and Santa saves the toys. That wasn't the original ending. Originally, Rudolph was a bit of a nasty person. At the end of the original, Rudolph left the island of misfit toys never to return. He broke his promise and people complained about it, so they changed it. I think it was a good change. A change for the better. A Christmas change. So if you haven't seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I definitely recommend to watch it because it is it is a festive favourite of mine. I absolutely love it. It's such a great Christmas tradition of mine. Christmas Eve, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I love it. Christmas fact number 11 comes to us from Iceland. So in Iceland, they don't have one Santa Claus. They actually have 13 Santa Clauses. And these Santa Clauses are like the Nordic ones in that they give out sweets in the shoes of children who are good, but they put potatoes in the shoes of the children who are bad. Isn't that nice? It's not how they started though. These 13 Santas are all brothers. So the 13 Santa Clauses are brothers, and they are the children of evil trolls. Non-internet trolls, like goblin-y, under-the-bridge trolls. Basically, the idea was that they used to steal or kidnap naughty children and eat them, or feed them to their parents, or something along the lines of that. Eventually, over time, they broke away from their parents, they defied them, and eventually they became the good beings that we know them today. So basically, they changed from being evil kind of people that used to do, not that they used to do evil things at Christmas, but it was a way for children to be good. So if they were good, they didn't get eaten. If they were bad, they did. Yeah. Okay. So, I think it's a good thing that the Nordic Santa, our Santa, had a good influence on those 13 Santas, and now they do just like Santa. They give out toys and presents to the good children. Potatoes. Potatoes. I don't get that. But they give potatoes to children who've been bad. Yeah. And finally, we're on Christmas fact number 12. Christmas fact number 12 is about my favourite Christmas song. One of, I have no favourite. Okay, it's about Winter Wonderland. So we all know the song Winter Wonderland, and we all know the part where they go to the meadow. So in the meadow we will build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. So Parson Brown is an actual person, not a snowman. He's an actual person. So a parson, you might be wondering, well, what's a parson? A parson was a travelling minister from the Protestant church. So a parson would travel from town to town doing ceremonies like weddings, which is why Parson Brown asks, you know, he'll say, are you married? We'll say, no man, but you can do the job when you're in town. So in other words, parson, you're a travelling minister. When you're in town, you can marry us. When I was smaller, was very confused over this because I didn't know what a parson was, and I used to think, like, why would people have a snowman marry them? That's kind of weird. Am I the only one who thought this? Anyway, so yeah, Parson Brown is an actual person. So there was a minister who was a travelling minister in the Protestant church in America called Parson Brown. And, well, they decided to write him as a snowman. That is it for my 12 Christmas facts. It is day 17, which means that there are 8 days till Christmas, as I said earlier on. That means this day next week is Christmas Eve. This day next week is Christmas Eve.
I have so much to do. I can't believe I'm so behind. I'm never behind. Christmas is my favourite time of year. Usually I'm on it like a cop on it. I cannot believe I'm so far behind. Okay, I have a lot to do. It's shout out time. My shout out today is going to Jessica. Jessica, thank you very much for subscribing and liking my videos. Your feedback today was great, thank you. Also, thank you for introducing me to Dub Smash. I'm a little bit obsessed. It's silly, but it's addictive. Anyone who hasn't seen Dub Smash, definitely go into your iTunes or into the Google Play Store and download it. It's hilarious. I can't describe it. It's actually hilarious. Thank you everybody for watching my vlog today. I hope that you thought some of the facts were interesting. If there's any facts that you have that you think are interesting about Christmas, please let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe to see more of my videos. Please give this a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs up if you didn't know that a Parson Brown, you didn't know what that was, if you thought it was a snowman. Thumbs up if you like my glasses. This is it for day 17 of Vlogmas. I'll be back tomorrow for day 18. Bye!